Hello, today we are unboxing the Rally Kagama. Alright, let's see what's in the box. This is a ready to run package. Just going to cut through the tape here. This for there. Box. Alright, so here's the box. Let's see what we got inside. Packaging. So we got a manual, the lanyard, and a key ring inside. Like that in a minute. And this is the car. Alright, so we've gone for a kind of a Hulk green. Take the cover off. That's the shell. Two skid plates on the top. 4 clips. And we're not worried about these pieces on the back here, but let's see how they go. And then underneath, so you've got some bracing back here for the clips. Got a nice piece of padding on the top for the roof to sit on in case it hits the ground. So if I can tip this up. So we've got our Huron motor in there. It's a 825 Huron 2050 kilowatt. And then we've got their servo in the front. I've heard these servos may be not too tough, so we'll have to see how that goes. You've got your ESC on the front there, also a Huron. And then they've got the built-in on-off switch right there. Battery pack at the front. It looks like it's got X90 connectors on there. With our X90 connections, you can run it with 2 3s or 1 6 straps. Obviously there's been some feedback on these trays. I haven't had any issue with my Asuga, so hopefully I'll be okay. Just need to remove this. You can see it there. Let me get the strap. turn it around. So right at front there, there's like a stop for the battery. So I'm going to need to take that out so we can fit the 6S. You've got a nice support across the middle with the triangulated supports there for extra strength and rigidity. You've got these nice guard plates at the back to stop all the dirt going into the suspension there. So the suspension feels pretty good. A little stiffer than the Asuga when I got it. It's got the same. Back. You got the same 70mm nuts on there. I don't think they're serrated, so probably want to put a drop of maybe the blue Loctite on there to make sure they don't come off the thread lock. Yeah, so that's the car. We'll come back to that in a minute to see what we got in the box. Alright, so we've got our CT2R digital controller. Comes with it. Feels pretty good. You can reach the steering with your thumb. I've got fairly large hands, but it's pretty good. It's got a soft outer edge on it. I think it's 4 AA's. Yep, in the bottom. So I'm not sure I'm going to use this or stick with my other controller. I have this one here I combined to multiple vehicles, so I may do that. Let's see. So let's give you a comparison. Let's put this top back on. Yeah. These clips up. I've been told these clips can rub if you put them in the wrong way. I'm going to stick it like that. Alright, so let's do it side by side. So this is the Kagama. And here we have the Asuga. So I think they're on the same chassis. Looks pretty much the same length. Obviously you've got the higher tires and you've got the suspension on these is a little bit more beefed up. The springs and shocks look maybe they're in the next size up, but pretty much like center wheel to center wheel, they're about the same length. Width wise, we can take a look there. So we slide that across. So you can see there's quite a bit of difference there in the width. Wing on the Asuga is actually looks to be a little wider, but it's the same design with the slots in here. I'll take that one off. So it's still got the same, pretty much the same design. This wing looks like it sits a little closer to the body than the Asuga, but other than that, pretty similar. Let's just take this cover back off. The same as the Asuga. So take a look at the side, the two. You can get like a fairly good comparison. So this one looks like you don't have the support for the back here. like you do on the Asuga. It's got like the back edge of the tray. This one's actually open. Let's turn that around. So if you look back there, you can see the tray is kind of open at the back. On the front side, it looks pretty much identical. The little narrower across the body. Alright, so something else I noticed, if you look at the shocks, they're actually just the same, it looks like to me, as the Asuga, except in reverse. So you've got the larger shocks on the front with the smaller shocks on the back on the Kagama, and then on the Asuga the larger shocks are on the back and the smaller ones on the front. I did measure them with some calipers and they're the same diameter, so I think they're the same. So that was kind of interesting there. As you can probably see as well, in the Asuga I'm actually running a Spectrum gear, which I was able to pick up at a good price on eBay. And I want to bring your attention to my little fan guard right there. I've been 3D printing these. If anybody's interested in those, there'll be a link below. So yeah, that's some of the similarities. Let's take the battery tray out and let's put a battery in here. I'm going to remove the stop and put a 6S in there. Today we're going to do a couple of little projects. Firstly, we have a new battery to try. This is a Yumi power battery, 6500 mAh and 60 C. So I'm going to be charging that while we do our other projects, one of which is to install this heat sink onto the motor, and I'm also going to adjust with the programming card the voltage. Alright, so you can see right there we have item number 1, value 2. We take a look at this chart that you have with your manual that comes with it. You can see item number 1 is running mode, and that's option 2, which is forward, reverse and brake. So we definitely don't want to change that, so we're going to keep that one the same. Right, so item number 2, that same sheet, is how many lipo cells are currently set to auto. We don't want to change that either, so we're going to carry on. Number 3 is cut off voltage. It's on disabled. You can have auto low. Currently it's on auto intermediate. We're going to leave it right there. Alright, the next one is thermal protection. It's currently set at 105 C, 221 Fahrenheit. I'm actually going to take a risk here. I'm going to bump this up. I'm going to move this up to value 2, which is 125 and 275. Alright, item number 5 is the motor thermal protection. It's disabled right now. I'm going to leave it that way. Next one is rotation, and it's currently on counterclockwise. I'm not going to touch that because it's running correctly. Item number 7. This is the one I want to change. This is the BEC voltage. This is for your servos. I'm going to change this to 7.4. So that's number 2. Alright, and we're going to go down to number 8. This is brake force. So you can have 12%, 25%, 37%, 50%, which is where it is right now, 62.5, 75, 87.5, 100 and disabled. I'm going to move that up to 62.5, which is the next one. Number 9 is reverse force. That's currently at 25%. I'm going to leave that as it is. You can select 50. Then you've got punch, which is, you know, how quickly it pulls away. I already wheelies at 3. So you've got level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. I'm just going to leave it at level 5. And it's also got a drag brake, which is a 0. And I'm going to leave it where it is. And then we click OK. And it should now, if we go back through everything, it should have set everything as we want. So let's just check through. Everything's saved in there. Alright, so we leave that like that. We're going to turn it off. And then we're going to turn it back on, and we're going to make sure all of those things saved. Let's take a look. So yeah, 1 is 2, we didn't change that one. 2 is 1, we didn't change that one. 3 is 3, we didn't change that one. 4 should be 2. 5 should be the same at 1. 6 should be 1. 7 should be 2. 8 should be 5. 9 should be 1. 10 should be 3. And 11 should be 1. Alright, everything is good. So we're good to go. So let's turn it off. And then next we're going to plug the fan back in, and then we're going to take a look at adding the motor heatsink. So we got the top piece of the case. This goes underneath your motor, and then they provide a shim. I don't think I'm going to need a shim because this one's already got like a heatsink on it. And in the box you also get a couple of fans, 2 fans, a Y splitter cable that you plug into your receiver, and then here you've got your hardware. Alright. Look at that. So there's our 2 motor fans. I've already got our new plug-in. Our 2 plugs right here. Coming out of the receiver box. So next step, we're going to plug it in and give it a test.